You wake up at 6:47 a.m. 7 minutes before your alarm. Your body knows. It's been doing this for 4,847 days. Almost 13 years at the same company. You tell yourself it's security, a good salary, benefits, stability. But as you stare at the ceiling, there's this feeling you can't quite shake. You're making more money than your parents ever dreamed of, and somehow you're more broke than they ever were. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why that's not a coincidence. It's by design. This is the salary trap. Let me introduce you to Sarah. She's 34, makes $85,000 a year. On paper, she's in the top 20% of earners in her country. She should feel rich. She doesn't. Sarah gets paid every 2 weeks. That's $3,269 before taxes. After taxes, it's $2,458. Now here's where the trap gets interesting. The system doesn't present her with a choice. It doesn't say, here's your money, decide what to do with it. Instead, it does something far more clever. It fragments her money across invisible channels before she ever sees it. Rent takes $1,200. That's nearly half her after-tax income. Groceries and dining out for $100. Car payment, insurance, and gas, $550. Phone, internet, subscriptions, $120. Utilities, $140. By the time Sarah actually sees her paycheck's implications, she's already spent $2,410 of her $2,458. She has $48 left for an entire 2 weeks. But here's the psychological genius of it. Sarah doesn't experience this as deprivation. She has a car. She has a place to live. She has Netflix. She's eating. She looks successful. The system gives you just enough comfort to stop you from asking why you're not building wealth. This is the salary trap's first weapon, the illusion of prosperity through fragmentation. When money comes in a lump sum and leaves in small pieces, your brain never fully grasps that you're just treading water. You have a lifestyle, not wealth. You have access, not ownership. You have the appearance of success without any of the actual security that comes with it. And this isn't an accident. It's engineered. Now let's talk about what actually keeps you stuck. And this is where it gets darker. The entire system is designed to keep you dependent on that paycheck. Think about it. You're told to get a good education. So you do. Maybe you go into debt for it, maybe $40,000, maybe $100,000. Now you're hunting for a job to pay back that investment. You find one. Great salary, maybe $60,000. You feel relief. You feel like you made it. But the moment you accept that job, something happens. Your lifestyle automatically inflates to match your income. Economists call this lifestyle inflation, but I call it the system's second trap. You get the job at $60,000 and suddenly you can afford a nicer apartment. So you get one. Your rent goes from $800 to $1,200. You can afford a nicer car. You get one. Your payment goes from $200 to $400. 2 years pass. You get promoted. Now you're making $90,000. So you move to an even nicer place. $1,600 in rent. A better car. $500 payment. Maybe a vacation you wouldn't have taken before. Each increase in salary feels like freedom, but each one actually tightens the noose. Here's why. You're no longer free to leave that job because you need that salary to maintain your lifestyle. You've built a financial life that requires constant paychecks. This is what I call golden handcuffs. The cruelest part? You did this to yourself. The system didn't force you. It just presented the option, and human psychology did the rest. We see progress as moving up, not as actually getting richer. So we move up into a lifestyle that consumes every penny we earn. A CEO making $500,000 a year can be just as trapped as someone making $50,000 if their lifestyle requires $490,000 to maintain. The salary doesn't determine your freedom. The gap between your income and your expenses does. And the system is designed to keep that gap as small as possible. Let me tell you about my friend David. He worked in tech, made 6 figures, but he was miserable. Every time he thought about quitting, his stomach would drop. Why? Because he'd already committed to a $400,000 house, 2 car payments, kids in private school, a lifestyle his wife had grown accustomed to. One day, his company offered him a promotion, a $20,000 raise. He felt relieved, grateful. He felt like he'd won. 2 weeks later, his landlord raised the rent. His mortgage adjusted. His oldest needed braces. His car needed repairs he couldn't justify, so he got a new one instead. And just like that, his financial stress didn't decrease. It stayed exactly the same. This is the system's most insidious trick. You're not building wealth with your salary increases. expenses. You're just increasing your obligations faster than your income grows. It's why the person making $30,000 a year and the person making $300,000 a year often report similar levels of financial stress. The system is engineered so that your required expenses always catch up to your income. Always. And when you're living paycheck to paycheck, even a substantial one, you become predictable, controllable. You need that job. You can't take risks, can't start a business, can't invest in your own ideas, because all your money is already promised to someone else. Your landlord, your bank, the car company, the credit card issuer, they all benefit from your trapped state. You're a guaranteed revenue stream for them. But you don't actually benefit. I want you to imagine something. Imagine you quit your job tomorrow. You just left. How many months could you survive? Be honest with yourself. If your answer is less than 3 months, you're trapped. And you're not alone. Over 60% of professionals couldn't sustain their lifestyle for more than 1 month without a paycheck. Think about that. You are 1 month away from financial crisis at all times. That's not security. That's a very comfortable prison. The salary trap convinces you this is normal. Work, earn, spend. Work harder, earn more, spend more. Repeat until retirement. Maybe. But this isn't inevitable. It's not a law of physics. It's a choice that's been made for you, disguised as the natural order of things. Now here's what makes this trap so effective. It gives you just enough. You're not starving. You're not homeless. You have a phone, a car, streaming services. You go out to eat. You take a vacation once a year. You look like you're doing fine. So when someone suggests the system is broken, your first instinct is to defend it. Because if the system is broken, what does that say about you? You followed all the rules. You did everything right. And that's exactly how the trap works. It makes you complicit in your own imprisonment. It makes you defend the very mechanism that's keeping you broke. But the moment you realize your salary isn't keeping you rich, it's keeping you busy enough to not become rich, everything changes. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You start asking different questions. Not how do I make more money, but why does all my money leave? Not how do I get a promotion, but how do I build assets instead of obligations? Let me be clear about something. This isn't about quitting your job tomorrow. This isn't some romanticized vision of abandoning stability for entrepreneurship. That's just another trap disguised as freedom. The point is this: awareness changes behavior. Once you understand the trap is a system, not a law, you can start to dismantle it. Not overnight, not dramatically, but methodically. First, stop confusing income with wealth. A $200,000 salary is income. It's temporary. It requires you to keep working. $50,000 in savings and investments is wealth. It's permanent. It works without you. One disappears the moment you stop working. The other compounds while you sleep. Second, attack the gap. Intentionally keep your expenses lower than your income. This feels backward in a world that rewards consumption, but it's the only mechanism that actually works. Every dollar you don't spend is a dollar that can work for you instead of against you. Third, redirect that gap into assets that generate value, not liabilities disguised as assets. Your car is not an asset. Your house, unless you're renting it out, is not an asset. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out and, most importantly, build optionality. The moment you have 3 to 6 months of expenses in savings, something shifts psychologically. You're no longer trapped. You can negotiate better. You can say no. You can take calculated risks. You can leave situations that don't serve you. The goal isn't just to earn more. The goal is to become independent from the system's requirement that you need that paycheck. Because the moment you don't need it, you're free. Not free to quit necessarily, but free to choose. And choice is the difference between a job and a trap. Here's what the system doesn't want you to know. Your value isn't determined by your salary. Your worth isn't measured by the size of your paycheck. Your success isn't defined by the lifestyle you can afford. Those are all metrics designed to keep you running on a treadmill that goes nowhere. Real wealth is measured in time. How long can you survive without working? How many choices do you actually have? How much of your life is truly yours? If you're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week just to maintain a lifestyle you barely have time to enjoy, you're not winning. You're just losing slowly. The salary trap is real. It's sophisticated. It's normalized. But it is not inescapable. The people who break free aren't smarter than you. They aren't luckier. They just became aware. They saw the system for what it is, and they decided that comfort wasn't the same as freedom. You have that same choice. Not tomorrow. Not next month. But right now, in this moment. The question isn't whether you're trapped. The question is, now that you see the trap, what are you going to do about it? If this breakdown opened your eyes to something you hadn't seen before, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. This channel exists to break down the psychology of money, the systems that control your finances, and how to beat them. New videos every week. Each one gets you one step closer to actual financial freedom. And if you found this valuable, leave a comment. Tell me where you are in this trap. Are you aware? Are you escaping? Are you already free? I read every comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.